The NFL is at the center of controversy this week after President Trump criticized players kneeling during the national anthem. Good evening, I'm Mike Riccardi.
And I'm Dan Prager. The kneeling protest began with former 49ers player Colin Kaepernick in August of last year. He said he chose to kneel in response to racial injustices, saying he won't, quote, show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color.
Other NFL players soon joined the protest effort, sparking controversy. Now, President Donald Trump has joined the debate, urging teams to fire players that do not stand for the flag. The president had this to say yesterday.
They have rights. We all have rights. But when you're on that field and, you know, there's a situation going on, this is a great, great country, and we have a great flag, and they should respect our flag.
We're joined now by CitrusTV sports reporters Adam Unger and Zach Ling. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So before this Monday night game, we saw Jerry Jones kneeling with his players. Yesterday, we saw the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shad Khan, linking arms with his players. Now, both of these owners actually donated over $1 million to President Donald Trump. Zach Ling, do you think it's ironic?
I do not think it's ironic. I mean, we've seen this all around the league. These are not the first people to renounce their liking for President Trump. We saw it yesterday from Rex Ryan. We saw it from other sources, Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots in specific. And, you know, everyone voted for him because they thought he had the right values. And now everything he has put forward so far in his campaign has just gone backwards. And now, of course, he's attacking the NFL, and now that's their home turf. So now they have something to say about it.
Yeah, I think the thing here is that Jones and Khan, they're not doing this as a sign of anger against Trump. They're doing this to show solidarity for their team. They're doing it to show solidarity for the NFL, saying they may not even agree with the protest. They may not. But they believe that their players have a right to protest and say what they want and do what they think. Now, Jones did not kneel during the anthem. He kneeled before with his players. I don't know if that's a sign of he wouldn't do it during the anthem, but he's definitely showing support for his players.
Well, I would say between the two that if you look at Jones kneeling, I think that says everything. I think that's a straight-out protest against Donald Trump, whereas Khan is the one that is just showing unity with his players just by linking of the arms and still standing.
Okay, so you think that these actions are in response to President Donald Trump's remarks. They're not sort of the continuation of Colin Kaepernick's movement. I mean, where do we draw that line between, I mean, is kneeling different from linking arms? Is all of this, is this the continuation of Colin Kaepernick, or is it just Donald Trump bashed our league, we're doing this in defiance of him?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of what we saw on Sunday has to do with Donald Trump. And the solidarity and the linking arms, that shows owners and coaches and players all standing together in the sense that none of them will get fired for standing up for what they believe in and exercising their constitutional rights. I still see kneeling, for the most part, as a Black Lives Matter and a civil rights kind of movement that Colin Kaepernick started a couple years ago. And entire teams staying in the locker room for the national anthem entirely is just an entire other beast that I think is also linked with Trump.
I do think that a lot of these players did agree, at least to an extent, with Kaepernick, maybe not in what he did kneeling for the anthem, but agreed with his point. And when Trump said this, it became a combination of, yes, we're going to stand up to the president and say that we're allowed to protest, we are using our platform. But it also became something like, other players are doing this, I'm not going to kind of have that target on my back anymore, and some of them still do. But I think the target kind of came off of them as more and more people came in, so they felt more accepted when they joined in protest.
And this is some of the largest league-wide action we've seen in a long time. Zach, do you think this is going to continue, and what does it mean for Colin Kaepernick? Is he good enough to get a job on a team, or is it still too risky for owners to accept him because it might, you know, their fan base might get mad, it might be bad for business?
I got to be honest, I don't know if this is going to continue. There was actually a soundbite today from Bills linebacker Lorenzo Alexander. He said that he was standing in solidarity with his teammates because that's what he believed in. However, he said he doesn't believe he is going to continue to do this in the upcoming weeks. So I don't know. It depends on certain players' beliefs if they choose to continue with this. But moving forward, like you said, and Colin Kaepernick at the same time, he could get a job. I think this has certainly opened up opportunities to him. He has yet to be talked to since the incident has occurred this past week. But, you know, we don't know if he's going to get signed. That honestly depends on the owners of those football teams and that they need to make a business decision.
Well, we'll have to leave it there. Zach Ling, Dan Prager, Adam Unger, thanks so much for being here. It was a pleasure. That's all the time we have for tonight. Follow Citrus TV News on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Mike Riccardi.
And I'm Dan Prager. Have a great night.